going, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here, and I want to talk to you about the 2011 film Fright Night. I actually really like this movie. I wasn't sure what to expect going into it. I remember hearing people say they didn't really like it. Anytime there's a remake of a movie that is even kind of well-liked, you're always going to have people who are going to complain, why are they remaking that movie? Why don't they just remake an awful movie and make it better? I didn't hate this movie. I think part of the reason I'm okay with Fright Night being remade is that while I really liked the first Fright Night movie, I first saw it roughly a year ago probably. I like that movie, but I don't know if I would say that it is super well known. Compared to something like, I don't know, even The Lost Boys, I think is more well known than Fright Night. I feel like most people in 2011 who went to see this version of the movie probably hadn't seen the original version of the movie. So I feel like this was fertile ground for a remake. And what I like is that this takes the basic structure, the bare bones of the original movie, and it updates it and it makes changes. This does not feel like a beat-for-beat remake. There are things that are different here, and I like the differences. And it doesn't necessarily feel like they made changes just to make it different from the original. A lot of the changes that they made here feel like they are earned. I like the way that they updated Peter Vincent. Peter Vincent was played by Roddy McDowall in the original Fright Night, and he was kind of a Elvira Svengoolie type TV host who would introduce horror movies on the local TV station. And in this, David Tennant plays him, and he's more of a Chris Angel mystical performer type. And I thought that was an update that made sense. But he's still playing the same role of the reluctant Obi-Wan Kenobi type to Charlie Brewster. And I like that. I think that Anton Yelchin does really well with the role. I don't remember who played Charlie in the original Fright Night, but I think Anton Yelchin does a good job with it here. I like most of the actors here. I don't think there was anyone here that I was especially displeased were in the movie. It is a little funny that some of these guys are still trying to play high school students. You've got the guy who played Fogel in Superbad. He is here still playing a high schooler. And then you've got Dave Franco here, who around the same time was playing a med student in the last season of Scrubs. And I felt like that was especially like, no, this isn't working, guys. It didn't bother me too much. I found it amusing. But this does have scenes that are not in the original. And again, I like that. I like that it's doing some different things, but the basic plot structure is more or less the same. The original movie is a little bit closer to The Boy Who Cried Wolf. You've got this kid who believes that his neighbor's a vampire, and then nobody believes him, and then he has to kind of take matters into his own hands. This movie doesn't quite hoe as close to that as the original one did. This also changes up the vampire who lives next door. The guy, Chris Sarandon, who played Jerry Dandridge in the original, he felt more human in his portrayal of Jerry. There's the scene in the original, spoilers, where he is about to turn Evil Eddie into a vampire, and he says, I know what it's like to be a weird outsider, and you don't feel like he's just messing with Evil Eddie. You do kind of feel like he knows what he's talking about when he's having that conversation with Evil Eddie. And then you have the guy who played Bullseye in Daredevil, whose name I can't remember. Oh wow, it is completely gone from my brain. But he is much more monstrous here. They are not being subtle with the Predator motif. There's a conversation he has with Brewster where he's like, hey, your mom is pretty hot and your girlfriend too, better watch out. And so he is a predator, and all of these humans are his prey, and there really is no human element to his character, which you felt like there was in the original. And again, I'm okay with that. I think the few people who had seen the original Fright Night, they can still go back and rewatch the original Fright Night if they prefer that version, or they can watch this one that has the basic same story, but changes enough elements that it still feels different enough to warrant its existence. I really like the first Fright Night, and I enjoy this movie quite a bit too. If I had to say which one I prefer, I still like the original one better, but I like the changes this one makes. And there are times where you might say, whoa, this is taking a turn that I wasn't expecting if I was familiar with the original Fright Night. Colin Farrell, that's his name. I hope that's his name, and I'm not... Yeah, Colin Farrell. Sometimes I get Colin Firth and Colin Farrell confused, and then sometimes in my mind I'll think of Will Ferrell and Colin Farrell. I don't get them confused. But anyway, that's about all that I had to say about the 2011 Fright Night. I enjoyed this movie, and if you, for some reason, were avoiding it for the last decade because, like, I like the original Fright Night, I don't want to see them ruin it, I don't think this ruins it. I think there's room for both versions of this story. I enjoyed what they did here. I think this was an interesting take on a familiar story. So those are my thoughts on the 2011 Fright Night. I hope you guys like this video, and I will be back tomorrow to talk about something else. In the meantime, have a great rest of the day. Catch you later.